name is Michelle and I'm with Stampin' Storage, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about embellishment storage. So embellishments are just one of those things that are a little trickier to organize because they do come in so many different types of jars and containers. And then we often throw them in a drawer or a bin and they get mixed up and forgotten about. So how do we solve that problem and organize them in a way that we're going to use them on our project? Because regardless if you're a mixed media artist, a scrapbooker, or a card maker, you probably have a fair share of embellishments to work with. So let's talk about a solution that helps store your embellishments and then also organizes them in a way that works best for you to use them on your project. So we have what we call our Crafty storage jars. And these containers work so great at storing embellishments because they have the wide opening so you can easily access your embellishments, but they also have a cover so you keep them safe and protected. And I'm going to pour, this is one of my jars that I recently got, and again it didn't match a lot of the other jar sizes I had. So all you have to do is pour your embellishments into this jar. Again, that wide cover makes it really easy to do. And voila, you've got your embellishment storage. Now, how do you store these? That's the fun part. I'm going to talk about a few options that were designed specifically for storing these jars, but also one at the end that was designed for a different supply but works really well for these jars. In fact, it's probably the route I'm going to go with all of my embellishments. So first of all, we have our single drawer. These go in our drawer cabinet. And what's great about our drawer cabinets is you can configure the drawer to fit your supplies. If you have a lot of embellishments, you might want to do a 10-drawer single drawer cabinet. And then you can store your embellishments with this grid, and it keeps everything neatly in place so they don't mix around and move around in your drawer even if you take one out. And it just organizes them so well. If you are going to go this route, a tip is store your embellishments, your jars, upside down because it's clear on the bottom. It does have more of a transparent top, but then you can see those embellishments a little bit quicker in your drawer. So just kind of a tip that I use for the ones I store in my drawer. But what about if you're like me and things that you store in your drawer, you forget about? I can't tell you how many supplies that I have and it's out of sight, out of mind. And one of the things about Stampin' Storage is we try to design as much as we can our products to keep your supplies visible and easy to access, because if you see it, it's going to inspire your creativity and you're also going to remember you have that, so you're going to use it on your next project. So we have what we call the jar carousel. Now this jar carousel comes in a couple of different configurations. When we're talking about embellishments, you want the large configuration. This has two large configurations in this carousel, and that is what's going to hold all of these Crafty storage jars. So there are 28 slots when you have two of them together. So like I said, I'm actually going to pull this apart so you guys can see it's not glued yet, but you can configure these however you want. And that allows you to, say you have a small embellishment collection of just your favorite embellishments you always use, but you have a bunch of a different jar like a glaze or a glitter. You can do a different one on top of that and store both of those in that carousel. So it's just a really great option. So you've got 14 slots in one large compartment, or I should say section is what we call them. If you add two together, you've got the 28. So I'm not going to even try to put this back together as I took it apart here. But what if you have a much larger collection of embellishments? We also have a larger carousel. So bear with me one second. I'm going to move this out over here. This is the jar carousel for Ikea, and this is the large configuration which is designed to hold all of these Crafty storage jars. So what's really awesome about this is it holds up to 90 jars and it fits inside a cube, the Ikea Calyx cube, so you can really maximize the space of that cube. You can set it on a desk if you wanted to, but again, if you have a Calyx unit, these are fantastic for really making use of that whole space. And how they're designed is in this cube, I'm going to pull this out right here, is each compartment holds up to 3 Crafty storage jars. So you would have one in the back, and then you have 2 in the front. And that's really designed to maximize the space. Say you're more worried about keeping it visible, no problem. Then just take your 2 jars and just slide it to the front like that, and you can leave that space in the back empty. You might want to put a spacer back there so they don't push back. I actually have one set up at home, and they don't push back because they're kind of pinched in. So it's just another great option for storing those larger collections. Like I said, this holds up to 90 Crafty storage jars of embellishments. And if you have that many, I want to come over to your house and craft. So I've got one more to show you. And this is a product that was designed specifically for chalk paste and glitter. And we recently realized that it really works well with these Crafty storage jars, and it is actually probably the option I'm gonna go with. So this is the holder. And again, if you're looking for this on your website, don't look for embellishment storage, because it's actually gonna be the chalk paste and glitter holder. And these jars work so great in these compartments. So they're the perfect fit because, again, they're designed for chalk paste, which is a very similar in diameter of a jar. And it really keeps these jars organized and so visible in your space. And you can set this on your desk. This is the standard chalk paste and glitter holder. And if you're not familiar with Stampin' Storage products, our products are stackable, so everything is always the same height as long as it's not an Ikea version. And then that way you can have your ink pads next to it, you can put punches on top, so you can really configure your desks to the supplies that you use the most. These are just a few options for organizing those embellishments. I hope it helps you all so you do keep them visible or easy to access and you use them on your next project.